And in medical rounds today, inflammatory bowel disease can cause digestive discomfort for a lot of people, but trying to figure out what foods to eat or not eat can cause even bigger issues. Hartford HealthCare registered dietitian Jamie Allers is here to help. Thank you so much for being with us, Jamie. I know so many people suffer with this.
Absolutely, Kara. Thank you for having me.
And let's talk about inflammatory bowel disease. How does it impact nutritional status?
It impacts nutritional status in a few different ways. It can have an impact on your body's ability to properly digest or absorb nutrients. So we always have a concern about vitamin and mineral deficiencies, particularly things like calcium or B vitamins, even iron. Also, when you're experiencing GI symptoms such as diarrhea, it's hard to keep up your nutritional food for the day and how many meals that you eat. So sometimes you experience unintentional weight loss, which also has a factor on your nutritional status.
So this is the million-dollar question. What foods trigger symptoms?
Right. And this is also the complicated part of it, because for some people, some foods might trigger certain symptoms, and that may not be the case for other individuals with IBD. But we do tend to find that very highly processed foods, really high fat or greasy or fried foods, spicy foods, even for that matter, certain dairy foods that contain lactose, and artificial sweeteners can be triggers. Along with some drinks that contain alcohol or caffeine, all of these foods tend to trigger symptoms in patients with IBD.
Which foods should you include?
Another million-dollar question, right? And the goal is really to focus on the less processed or unprocessed foods that you can. And that includes things like unprocessed fruits and vegetables, whole grains like brown rice, legumes and beans like chickpeas, lean proteins like chicken and fish, and sources of dietary omega-3 fatty acids, that salmon being one of your best examples of that.
All right, and if there isn't really a particular diet to follow, what are some other general tips that could be helpful for people listening?
Absolutely. One of the best tips I can give to help increase your intake of less processed foods is to focus on the perimeter or the outer aisles in the grocery store. That's really where you find your least processed foods. It's those inner aisles within the grocery store that tends to have more processed foods. So that's a great place to start. Small, frequent meals with protein, especially if you've lost weight recently. Keeping up with your hydration, with primarily water being your main source of hydration. And just keeping flexible with yourself. When you don't feel well, your diet may not look the same compared to when you're feeling the best, which is where it's so important to have a good support team and medical providers around you to help customize the diet for your individual needs with IBD.
Absolutely. Jamie, thank you so much. And I know you have a lot more information. We want people to check out a virtual information center, a session rather, where they can be with Jamie. It's going to be on February 1st. You just go to hartfordhealthcare.org. Then click on the Health and Wellness tab, and you can get a lot more information. This is a topic to dive in on. Thanks so much.